Anthony Davis robbed the Defensive Player of the Year. As someone who has made the All-Defensive team 5 times, he's never won the award. You're not giving it to me. The league doesn't like me. I'm the best defensive player in the league. At this moment, he is the 6th best odds to win the award. Let's dive into this and see if Anthony Davis actually deserves to win the award this year. This is Draymond Green's Defensive Player of the Year ratings throughout the years. As I said, Draymond is one of the players who is a better odd to win the award. And as you can see here on the bottom, Draymond has a defensive rating of 106.9 this season. Anthony Davis doesn't have a better defensive rating than Draymond Green. He has 111.0. As we can see here, Victor Wembanyama also has a better defensive rating at 103.8. And Evan Mobley over here on the bottom has 108.4 defensive rating. So everybody who is above Anthony Davis has a better defensive rating at this moment. Obviously, defense is not just determined by your defensive rating. There are other measurements. Well, if we look at blocks per game, we can see that Victor Wembanyama is leading the way amongst Evan Mobley, Anthony Davis, and himself. Anthony Davis is averaging 2 blocks per game, and Evan Mobley is averaging 1.5. So he does have Evan Mobley beat in that category, but not Victor Wembanyama. Here's the biggest telltale sign as to why Anthony Davis is not the top leader for Defensive Player of the Year. This is every team's defensive rating. As you can see, the Golden State Warriors are number 5, the Cleveland Cavaliers are number 11, and the San Antonio Spurs are the 13th. So where are the Lakers, you ask? They're 24th in the league in defensive rating. And of course, Anthony Davis cannot do it all himself. But if your team is the 6th worst defensive team in the league, and the only teams below you are non-playoff teams besides the Indiana Pacers. So it's hard to win the award when your team is a bottom tier defense in the league. I don't think you can make the case that he can win this year, but let's go back to 2020 and see if he should have won that year. Anthony Davis has talked about how he hasn't won the award and it has bothered him. He even said here, sometimes guys had won the award just because they had the most blocks in a season. He said he's done that a couple times, but he still didn't win. I can switch 1 through 5. I can guard the pick and roll, best in the league, from a big standpoint. Because that was the year he came in second to Giannis. Back in 2020, Anthony Davis' defensive rating was at 101.8, which is a very good rating. But unfortunately, Giannis' defensive rating was 97.0. In addition, this is their side-by-side stats that year. Giannis averaged almost 14 rebounds per game, Anthony Davis only 9. Giannis 5 assists, oh that's not defense, but whatever. 3.2 assists for Anthony Davis. And Giannis only averaged 1 block per game, where Anthony Davis averaged 2.3. So he beat him in that category. And if you remember, that was the year that the Milwaukee Bucks were the best defense in the league. And as you can see right here, they led the league at 102.5, and it really wasn't that close. The Lakers were the 3rd best defense in the league. So it's not like Anthony Davis didn't have a chance and his team was not a good defensive team. But when the player who you're going against has the best defense in the league as a team, and as an individual player, his defense was better than yours, it's hard to argue that he shouldn't have won the award over you. Anthony Davis is an amazing defender. We know this. Like, when you try to go against him in the paint, it's hard to get your shot up. He's likely going to block it or alter it or deflect it. Like, he's going to get in the way. So there's no question that Anthony Davis is a top tier defender in the league. And he definitely had a chance to win the award, like in 2020, for example. Again, going back to this, I feel like this is a big reason as to why Anthony Davis is not a top candidate for the award right now. I don't know if every single year the player who won was on a team who had the best defense, but we know Giannis did. When Marcus Smart won, the Boston Celtics, I believe, were the #1 defense in the league. When Draymond Green won, the Warriors were definitely top 3 defense in the league. When Rudy Gobert won last year, the Timberwolves were the best defense in the league. When he won with Utah, they were one of the best defenses in the league as well. So it always goes to a player who is on a top tier defense, because you're essentially saying to the league, I make this defense the best. And again, it's not all his fault. The personnel around you has to do with, how good of a defensive team you can be. But the league wants to see that your defensive ability is so great that you can make your team at least a top 10 defense. And so until the Lakers become a top 10 defense, I think Anthony Davis will not be able to win this award, at least this season. Look at Bam Adebayo. For the past 4-5 years, he's been saying that he should have won one of these awards as well. And I believe on the odds makers list, he's right below Anthony Davis. So he as well has not been able to win the award despite being a very good defender in the league. And Bam Adebayo as well can switch multiple positions just like Anthony Davis. So they both have the same issue that they just can't win the award. I also want to show you this. Draymond Green, who has won Defensive Player of the Year before, and he is, again, higher rated to win this year than Anthony Davis, had a defensive rating of 99.1 the year he won the award. You can definitely make an argument that he could have won in 2020 and that he could have won at some point in his career because we know, again, he's a top-tier defender. But I don't think you could say that he should have won the award over Giannis, meaning like that Giannis didn't deserve the award.